So this is something new for me. I have never taken part in any of these, creative conferences, photography conference, videography, content creation. So I am going to the Capture Create Collaborate event presented by Sony. Yes, I'm going to check out a Sony event. No, I am not ditching Pentax whatsoever. Stop the rumor mill right where it is, nip it in the butt. Not happening. I'm maintaining my Pentax photography and all my gear. This is just a thing of, I've never taken part in one of these things, so I just wanted to go and actually check out what it's all about, what's there. Pentax is not known for videography centric stuff, so it should be interesting to, well, for me anyway, to see, and hopefully for you, actually. That's why I'm doing this video. Just to see what is out, what innovations does Sony have, what possible things they may be coming out with. I don't know what's going to be there because I've never taken part in any of these things before. So yeah, let's see what it's all about. And thanks for joining me on this interesting journey. In all seriousness, heading to one of these things, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect. I had a feeling I'd be the only person, one, with a DSLR, and two, absolutely the only person there with a Pentax camera. Waiting for people to approach me and, oh my gosh, my dad had one of those back in his day in school, and yada, yada, yada. You know, the usual things that we all get bombarded with when people see Pentax, outside of the question of, really? Pentax? They still make cameras? Wow. But I was more interested in trying out different gear, right? I was really looking forward to that. In regards to, say, the A7 IV or A7R5, even if they had an A7R3, the ZV E1, try out a cinema camera, just to see, right? Because it's about the content creation element, not necessarily the photography itself. And because I had my Pentax camera with me, I was very interested in doing a back-to-back comparison right then and there between the autofocus, the automatic subject recognition autofocus of, a mirrorless camera versus the Pentax K3 Mark III, go through different settings, shoot, compare, see how much of a difference mirrorless camera really makes. Is it slightly exaggerated? I wanted to just get my own hands on that and really compare that for myself and then share those results with all of you. I thought that would have been an absolutely great way to partake in my first one of these types of events. Because just like myself, I'm sure there's a lot of you who have never taken part in an event like this, and you were probably curious about what these events are actually like. A lot of them are paid events where you have to pay for entry, but this one happened to be free. But then I thought, I'm not going to make it because, I ain't ready to die yet. Go cut corners somewhere else, Jesus. And I've noticed this lately all over the place. I don't know what's going on. People being taught improperly, people just being forced through getting their licenses when they really shouldn't deserve it. It's crazy. Oh my God, it's everywhere. What, nobody knows how to drive anymore? Nobody can figure out the dimensions of their own vehicle? Yeah, it's mind-boggling how poor people are driving now. You get people going like 20 miles an hour or 30 kilometers an hour under the speed limit on the highway. Nobody's doing the speed limit anymore. Or you're doing the speed limit and everyone else is just speeding. But anyway, we finally made it to the event, thankfully. And it was quite interesting because when I first walked in, my first thought was, holy smokes, it's vacant. Am I even in the right place? I guess... Hi, that's what I was looking for. I guess this is where the entrance is. And then those ladies told me it's on the 4th floor. So, headed into the elevator as you can see here. And I hit floor number 4 and bam! Magically, people showed up in the elevator. Woohoo!
Yep.
You guys all Sony people? Yeah. So
No.
I did say no,
I just paid for parking.
but no one
I wasted
listened.
like 6 months. I didn't read the
We
the
took the train
threshold.
here, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I'll
where-
take your 6 months.
I come from Kingston.
Oh wow.
Just spend the day.
No, go train.
No, if you're alone.
I never took a train before.
So here, my excitement started to build up. I was like, I'm finally here. This is going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on stuff. And this is the first thing that you see when you come out of the elevator.
There's some right in here to the left.
Okay, good. That means I don't have to ask that one.
That was about where's
Did
the
I get QR
bathroom.
code on you?
I hope so.
There you are. All right.
All right, I found it.
Got it. Perfect. Did you put with the space or without the space? Here you. Oops. It's stuck to me now. One second. These things are so finicky. Here you are.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
All right, so now we head into the actual venue. All excited. Thanks for cutting me off, bro. Not gonna lie, it seems a little empty, but let's check it out and see what this Sony event's all about. And this is when I started thinking I'm glad this was a free event. I don't see anywhere where I can try out some gear. As you can see, there's some backdrops positioned there. No signage as to what it even is, what it's about, what the backdrops are for, which station is what. Is one for portraits? Is one for models? Is one just showcasing lighting? Is what is the purpose? What is the reason for these things to be there? There's no explanation. Are we allowed to just randomly, to get someone to stand in front of the backdrop? Is this for actual showcasing of some kind? What is all this for? And there was no dictating factor stating anything anywhere. It was very disappointing, in regards to the way that they had set this up. Now, I know it was a free event, but again, this is something that was put on by Sony. So you would think, I shouldn't say expect, but you would think that it would be more well organized than what the reality was. So, I kind of looked at this one with the backdrop here, and what do you know? This is one of the more exciting portions of this whole thing, was being able to take pictures of some of these animals, namely this lizard. I was using a slower shutter speed, wanted to try to get some movement on the tongue kind of thing. These are DNGs straight out of the camera. Did a very good job, actually. And I was using the DA Star 1650 f2.8 PLM lens. I did have a CPL mounted to it because I know the venue itself in regards to the former home long time ago of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the NHL team. So I knew that there was probably going to be glass or something I may have to shoot through, reduce reflections, things like that. So I figured I would bring the CPL, which I did. Came in handy. Yeah, so I basically just started walking around because I was like, okay, well, that was fun. That's over. Let me go to the other end here and see what's going on. Okay, great. There's some seminars. Okay, maybe I'll take part in that. Time check. All right. I think I might actually head into this. It's in the middle of it, but I may head into this and see what's going on. And the other thing I noticed too is there were a lot of phone shooters. No camera, just a phone. Found that interesting too. So I decided I'd head into this panel event, hoping to get some good content creation ideas and things like that. And some of the statements in here quite interesting. Take a listen.
I think that's more interesting as a storyteller to see more of. Yeah, any kind of technical tool that you can use to be creative is really fun. Are you talking about AI right now? Is that what you're trying to do? Because I'm not a fan. Listen, we all use ChatGPT to write our emails to Karen that's bothering us and try to be a little nicer. We all do that. Let's admit it. But I'm into the AI that is more of an assistance, not a replacement in technology. I don't think humans and creative artists, anything creative, and I'm talking about engineers, level to creativity, doctors' levels of creativity, not just artists. Human error and trial and error is what makes us, again, problem solvers and interesting, and how we've come to these interesting discoveries have been through trial and error. So to just like lean on AI to replace that would be a disservice to humanity. So I disagree very deeply with the replacement factor of AI. So from a very young age, I was into art. Like, I loved art. I drew. I pulled things apart. I put it back together. I was a Lego kid. I just would build things and create little worlds. And I didn't think, especially being a female, that cinematography was even an option for someone like me. Much older than I look. So like 20 years ago, I started my career in film. But before that, I accidentally stumbled on my dad's old Pentax camera in the closet at 14. And I went from spending hours trying to like cramp up my hand drawing things and couldn't quite get the image that I had in my head on paper, or like build something in a way that I didn't understand how to do it, to now just being able to click a button and frame something and tell a story that way. And that's what you have to do. Like, everyone's like, how do you be a DP? You have to shoot stuff. You literally have to shoot stuff. And you have way more technology and access to products and things. Even sponsors like Sony are like literally putting things in your hands to play with and create with. I had none of that. I was in a small town, I had an HPX from school and a Pentax camera, and I'm a professional cinematographer now 20 years later. So there's no excuses. If you really want it, figure out a way to create your story. You have access to so much stuff. So that's the best advice I can give you, is just start shooting. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just try to create, have fun. You have the luxury of making mistakes and learning right now, because you don't have a giant commercial client breathing down your neck trying to get the shot in like an impossible amount of day. So just enjoy the process of learning right now.
So there you go. A Sony shooter who started getting inspired by shooting with Pentax. Pentax is the company that sparks that creativity, baby. So yeah, it was really, really interesting listening to that panel, especially about AI not being used as a replacement, using it more as, an assistant, in a matter of speaking, using it for certain things that you may not be good with, or certain things that are very tedious for you to do manually. You can have AI do that work for you, which will increase your efficiency, keep the clients more happy, that kind of thing. But the fact that she mentioned Pentax twice, I was like, wow, huh. But in case you're curious, not one person said anything about me having a Pentax camera with me. And I went over to the other side of the building, as you can see here, because I was like, okay, there's got to be more to this. So yeah, there was Henry's and Vistech, and Camera Canada was there, but it was more just along the lines of storefront in this venue. There were no products to try out anywhere, no products. All the larger cinema cameras and things like that were being utilized by Sony representatives to showcase, I guess, how to do portraits, that kind of thing. They had a model where you could just go up and just take pictures of her. So, I thought about it and I was like, yeah, you know what? There's really not much else happening here. So maybe I'll shoot. I don't know. I'm the underdog shooting Pentax. Should I do it? Should I not? So yeah, I argued with myself inside my own head for quite a while. And then I thought, you know what? Yeah, forget it. I'll just wait until a couple of people finish their shooting, and then I guess I'll give it a go and grab a couple of shots and walk around some more and hopefully find something else. So, bam, there we go. Uh, yeah, so no control over lighting or anything like that at all. No, nothing. Just whatever was there is whatever was there, right? So this is where I started to head over to the other side so that I could go down to where they were doing some figure skating practice. And this was a little interesting. Never shot anything figure skating wise before. There were a number of people here with their. I saw a couple of Canons, I believe. I could, just from the lenses, and a whole lot of Sonys. Just shooting the figure skaters as they were doing their practice. Not sure if these are people that are on the Canadian figure skating team or if this is like a lower tier of figure skating. I have no idea. I don't know enough about figure skating to know where they practice or who even the figure skaters are nowadays. Not a clue. But I just figured I'd come, just try to do a couple of shots, test out the auto detection, subject recognition for the autofocus versus regular autofocus, and see if I could spot any helpful hints or tips. For one, the automatic autofocus with subject recognition on actually did do a very good job. It did track properly. But then again, so did utilizing select expanded medium, which is my normal go-to. That tracked very well at the same time. So it was difficult to figure out which one would necessarily be better. I think the expanded would be better with the autofocus mode set to 3 for trackability. That would fare better, especially when they're going around the ice rink in pairs, right? That way you can isolate one subject over another and the camera's not going to jump in between the two. So that was pretty much the only difference that I could noticeably see from when I was shooting that would make a difference. But yeah, overall, it was an interesting event. Will I go next year? No. I was expecting something else. I personally didn't really get much out of this at all. Yeah, so I mean, it was something where you live and you learn, right? I've never been to one of these things. Now I've been. Now I know it's not for me. It was not what I was expecting.
So at the end of the day, here's the takeaway. Even though I clearly stated the event wasn't necessarily what I was expecting, if you've never taken part in any of these types of events before, take the chance. You might actually get something out of it. I did learn a little bit. It was like that presentation where the girl was talking about the AI thing, and just if you have an idea, just go for it. Just do it. Don't think about it and sit there. Just keep shooting. Shoot whatever. Just try to be creative and just do whatever you can. You don't have, especially if it's for yourself, you don't have, a deadline that you have to meet. You don't have, executives breathing down your neck, right? It's for you, right? So what do you have to lose? Try different things, right? Experiment. That's the whole part of the creative process. So again, in a nutshell, if you have not taken part in a symposium or event space like this, I do suggest that you at least give it a shot at least once. Check it out, see what it's about. You may enjoy it. For me, I went with expectations. I should have actually gone without any expectations, and I probably would have had a more interesting time. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the adventure. So this was the whole entirety of my first time going to a Sony held event. Capture, Create, Collaborate with Sony. It was interesting. Will I go again next year? Probably not. yeah, I am going to go to the major event this year, though. I keep missing it, but I'm going to go this year to Profusion. If you're not sure what that is, look up Profusion. It's huge. Yeah, so I'm going to conclude the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you want to support the channel, that info's in the description. And again, I appreciate every one of you subscribers. I do this for y'all, and I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out.